Hey guys, welcome back to Ultima Games, another
Howdy.
episode of Couch Co-op, and today we're going to talk about Nintendo stuff. Uh, there's been a lot of things. We had some issues before with actually me deleting the previous episode. Don't fall or get hung up on my shortcomings, but we're going to talk a lot about Nintendo today in this episode, so I'm going to let Cruz take it away.
Sounds good. So, before the original episode was sent into the fucking Thanos abyss, what we got right here are, first off, the Nintendo president Furukawa basically confirmed that the Switch 2 is a thing. He tweeted this out at 3 a.m. saying that next month, aka June, is going to be a Nintendo Direct, but the announcement for the successor will not be there. And when I say announcement, like he already announced the successor is a thing. We're talking about like a grand revealing of like a little like slideshow video showing off specs, things like that. Like that won't be at this next month's Direct, but expect it sometime between the time of this tweet till the end of the physical year or like their financial year is what he
So
means.
it's not the next Direct, right?
No, it's not the next Direct. Next Direct is going to be focusing on games coming out the second half of this year.
Gotcha. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, the new Switch is cool. I mean, we've speculated about that thing for a hot minute.
Yes.
My take with it is just please let it be powerful. I'm so sick of seeing the Switch being so underpowered. I get they're not all about graphics, they're not all about this, but come on, like it's 2024 and consoles are at the peak of power almost for themselves right now. Nintendo can step it up power wise. They have nothing else to innovate. They can.
I can safely say from like after since the last time, even more info's come out. But just giving the quick recap of the graphical specs we got right here for you, it's like this. So in handheld mode, before DLSS, the AI upscaling program NVIDIA has made that everybody knows about probably. It's the thing that upscales games from like 720 to 1080, 1080 to 1440, 1440 to 4K, right? It's a AI program that upscales games in that way.
And this stuff isn't confirmed. This is all still speculation, right?
It's most likely, like, this is all coming from what I believe, the FAMI boards who have been like hard at work detectiving shit, and this is apparently coming down from not just that, like shipment information, like parts being shipped out to certain warehouses that they're trying to be vague, but they're basically getting numbers that are confirmed but haven't been openly publicly confirmed.
Speculation. Let's just keep it at that.
Sure.
But for sure, I mean, yeah, AI upscaling sounds awesome. I mean,
before that, we're looking at a handheld that's around, give or take, a PS4 Pro to Xbox Series S levels of power. Mm-hmm. That's before the upscaling. On top of that, when it's docked, it should be slightly, like, pretty much at Series X. Or not Series X, my bad. That's too strong. At Series S, or even a little bit above that, and this is still before DLSS kicks in. The RAM is slightly slower than a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, but more capacity than the Series S in general, which is interesting. It should have about 10 and a half or 11 gigabytes of RAM, which is 3 times what the current Switch had, which is about 4, but one gigabyte of that is dedicated to the operating system. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have at least about like 11, like it says, 11 to 10 and a half for like dedicated to games.
Yeah.
The storage speed is interesting because this is an interesting why this specifically came out to be leaked, but it's a UFS 3.1 max speed, should be a hair under Xbox Series X, and at the moment, it's pretty much speculating that this is definitely going to be a graphical leap because in between, during the pandemic, before there was a whole like chip shortages on everything, there was supposed to be a Nintendo Switch Pro. They canceled that, scrapped it, and then basically moved on to making the next generation model instead. So now we're just going to see a full-on leap because if this thing is basically on par or even a little bit above a Series S, that's already a good leap. Mm-hmm. And since current day companies are porting games to that, there's no excuse they wouldn't port that to like current games to the next Switch. And keep on, this is all still before DLSS, so we don't know how much stronger it could be once the AI upscaling kicks in.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The AI upscaling thing, it sounds cool, but like, come on, like my biggest fear is having the issue where we have AI how it does with art right now, where it's just kind of generic and bland and it's not refined. But you know what? You'd be shocked what they can do.
No, don't worry. It's not that type of AI. This is not.
I get that, but this is where it comes to people get lazy, right? And we see how they do with the whole microtransaction business, and they just throw it in there. Who's to say that another company just won't be, oh, we have AI upscaling, and then they just muck it up? It's a possibility. Not saying that it's going to be real, but that's my only concern with it. And I don't know. It sounds too good to be true.
I mean, I would say you're right, but I mean, NVIDIA has been showing this off for years now, so it's not like I'm like pulling this out of my ass. Like,
yeah, I mean, they've showed it off, but you got to remember those are on actual machines built with that intention. The Switch is still playing catch up, and if this leap isn't big enough, the AI thing could hurt them more than anything. I think, but I hope that doesn't happen. But that's just my worst case scenario thing.
And I get that, but keep in mind this is all coming out now. Last year, at the very end of last year, around Gamescom, we had rumors that were pretty much 90% confirmed. They just can't say it because of NDA, people.
Yeah.
But pretty much a lot of people saw behind closed doors a prototype of the system. Thing was running the Matrix demo that was shown off years ago. It was running Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it was running a 4K 60 version of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, docked or undocked, though.
It was docked, but keep in mind, this is all a prototype of the device, all running on, like, right there. Everybody was, like, blown away. And a lot of people were saying, like, this is pretty much on par or even just a little bit below current-gen systems. Like,
yeah,
they were blown away. And keep in mind, the reason I'm bringing up NVIDIA a lot is because NVIDIA is the one who is making this chip.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who are hands-on, like, getting dirty with this thing. So... If anything, I got no worries about what's going to happen. Yeah, we still got to see what's going on.
Yeah. It's just, I'm at the point where I'll believe it when I see it. And, not to say that, Nintendo doesn't do quality stuff, but, they've always just innovated everywhere else except for the graphics. And now that they're actually doing it, it's like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's just like now the doubt is starting to creep in. It's like,
I mean, to be fair, they mostly were about the graphics back then. It was just that PS360 era that just where it stopped.
They got murdered graphic wise, but
graphic wise, but they killed in sales. They destroyed everybody else there.
Yeah.
So
and it's crazy because their best selling console is like one of the most useless now. But I feel it. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I hope that for the best. I hope that I hope it's the shit. I hope this console just puts out power, docked or undocked. The idea of playing Call of Duty and stuff like that on Switch is super tantalizing, and I'm more curious about the price. Say this console does all that, hits where it needs to be. It's graphically up there between PS5 and Xbox Series S, and we just get it. What do you think the pricing is going to look like?
So my scenario, I would assume it's going to be $349 for a regular version of this thing, and here's where I'm coming at. By the time this thing is announced, and we're getting like trailers to hype it up, the older models of everything are going to get like price cuts. So like a Switch Lite's going to be $100. The base model might just be phased out, and the original OLED model is going to be like $200, probably, like something like that, right? It's just like speculating price cuts on older models.
I mean, any price cut will happen when new consoles come out, but
So my assumption, or something I would hope for, is $349 for like this next Switch. Let's just call it Switch 2. Switch 2 base model will be like $349, so it'll take the price of the OLED. The premium edition of this, which will have an OLED built into it, will probably be $400.
Right.
That's my best guess. I know a lot of people don't want to have two SKUs, but honestly, it kind of works. Just having an entry level device for $50 cheaper, or if you can afford to spend the extra $50, get the premium. I see no loss in having two SKUs in that scenario.
Yeah, I feel like it should be the SKU for the price difference between like the light model versus the pro model. It should be like $100 because like $50 is kind of like I might not be able to get this game right now, but I can get the best version of this console. I feel like more people would sacrifice for that. So if the gap was bigger, it'd be more incentive to get a cheaper one and a game. It would help sales a little bit more, in my opinion.
I feel you.
But as far as the console goes, is there like any potential concerns you might bring up? Like for me, how it's with the graphics, if they're going to actually perform like that.
To me, it's like this. If I have no worries, because if we're at this point now, we're still in quotations. We're worrying about, we got things that are being ported to weaker devices than we have right now. So if we're just talking about the Xbox and PS5. Things are still being ported to the Series S. Things are being ported to the Steam Deck.
Right.
At the moment, because, technology evolves fast. So at the moment, when this Nintendo device releases, it's going to be the best handheld on the market. Probably go down the line. It'll be Steam Deck 2. It'll be another ROG Ally or some shit like that. You know, there'll be more stronger handheld PCs by it. But at the moment, that first few years, the Switch 2 will be the best handheld on the market.
Yeah.
So guarantee this thing is probably going to be pretty strong. This is going to be the equivalent of, like I said, a PS4 Pro, and like a Series S on the go.
Right.
I think that you're fine with that. If you're able to play Persona 3 Reload on your Series S, but you can take it on the go with the Switch 2, I think you're fine with that, right?
Give me console graphics and that'll be good. I think that'd be fine. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I wouldn't play Persona 3 Reload on the go. That's bizarre in that game specifically. But something multiplayer more oriented, which also leads me to my next thing is like, how is this thing going to be undocked with no Wi-Fi, you know, because the whole point of portable is to be, you know, portable. I know that PlayStation Vita, they did the whole LTE, you know, 4G thing. Didn't really work out too much for them because you had to get like a cellular plan, which was wild. And
I assume it's just like, I get where you're going with this. I assume it's just gonna be how Steam Deck and ROG Ally do their thing. You either play offline or you're online, and if you're online, you got to find a Wi-Fi connection.
I can imagine. Wi-Fi is pretty much everywhere now, wherever you go. I mean, if you're going to the airport Wi-Fi, obviously. If you're on a plane, plane Wi-Fi.
What I think it's gonna have too is a benefit, is a lot of Switch games still have this exclusive feature that other versions of games don't, is that fact that you could still local play. So like the Mega Man Battle Network connection that came out last year. Mm-hmm. If you have two Switches, you guys can do a versus match right there. You don't have to worry about internet. You just go. But you know, you can't say the same with the PS4 version. You can only do it over internet. So, but the Switch version, if you guys are stuck on a plane, you can go 1v1 or something.
You're literally just a portable console at that point. You better be built for that because it's hard to get two PS4s together versus
exactly.
Switches.
So,
but we'll see. I mean, I'm curious. I really hope that, I don't know, I hope it feels good in my hand. I noticed playing the Switch a little bit since you got me the thing, Shin Megami Tensei. I hate holding that thing. Like, as I tried playing it in undock mode, I hate it. I can't stand it. And I know it's mostly just the controllers, but it just feels weird. I ended up just using the little adapter piece for them. And I just hope that this doesn't have that problem. It's not the worst feeling thing, but it's definitely noticeable for me.
So my best guess for you is just that you and I probably have big hands, so I know exactly what you mean. So that's why, again, this is coming from guys who have big hands. So I got these Joy-Cons that are like Sonic theme, and they're huge. It's basically like taking a Pro controller, splitting it in half, and just sticking it on there.
Yeah.
So for me, I've never had a problem playing that. Even then, before I got that controller, there was always these grips from not sponsored, by the way, from Satisfy. They would help too before I got those controllers. So no, I get what you're saying. I think that what they're saying too is this thing's gonna be a chunky fucker. It's probably gonna be slightly smaller than a Steam Deck, but about that size.
Yeah, and it's definitely gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna set a lot of people on fire. I feel like the reaction to this thing is gonna be like half and half. I feel like some people are gonna be really mad for no reason, as they always are, and the other half is gonna be like, I might have to fuck with a Switch.
Dude, this system has been rumored for like fucking years now. Like, and this wasn't what it was. It was a quote unquote just upgrade model. Now we're just skipping the upgrade and going straight to the next thing. Mm-hmm. This is it. This is what people have been wanting. This thing's gonna sell like hotcakes day one, especially with the type of games they could get day one. And that's still like holy shit, because this will be in like other videos we've talked about or will be talking about. Well, you know, like we heard big companies are going to go more heavy on multi-platform. Mm-hmm. They always get sales back saying, hey, this game sold better on Switch than it did here. And they like looking like, that's looking appetizing.
Right.
Especially since lately, this is going to connect to what's going on right now. Nintendo's making some moves too. So Embracer Group recently sold them a company. Nintendo acquired a company known as Shiver Entertainment. Mm-hmm. They don't make any games. They're just a port studio.
Right.
Their biggest contributions have been Mortal Kombat 11, Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat 1, and I forgot what the fourth game was. There was a fourth game they did port to the Switch. But point is, they do their damnness to get like, you know, PS5, Xbox Series X games ported to Switch. Now I know there was a lot of controversy for their Mortal Kombat 1 port, but since launch, like in their most recent patches, they have done their damnness to like actually fix this thing.
Yeah, but that's because they got caught trying to be sneaky.
No, that wasn't them.
No, that was the trailer. The trailer they showed, even if it wasn't them, I know it sucks.
No. Like what I'm saying, like no, they released. I'm not saying they didn't release it like that. No, what happened? What I'm talking about is like there's actually a lot going behind the scenes regarding Mortal Kombat 1, but that's a whole nother subject. The too long short of it is Warner Brothers need that game out before the end of last year.
Yeah, I mean, being rushed is one thing. We all know what happens when games get rushed.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter was they put a trailer out for the Switch, but the trailer was for like PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, and it popped up on one of no, it was a PC trailer game, and the thing popped up with the achievement, which I'm just like, you're fucking kidding me, right? No one watched this trailer when they put it out, like damn. And it cracks me up. But stuff like that is like, okay, that's not cool. But,
yeah, no, it's not. But they have at least been dedicating to make sure they're doing what they can to get this game fixed.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Mortal Kombat is NetherRealm's bread and butter. I mean, that's kind of all they really do, aside from whatever little cool side spin-off crossover game they do. But that's all they kind of do. At this point, for me, I get people love Mortal Kombat, but I'm ready for something different from them. I want to see them do something different. It's been what, like 30 years of Mortal Kombat at this point.
If you're talking about, because normally they cycle between games, like they do.
I'm just talking about fighting games in general. Like, let's step away for a sec. I get that's what you're dedicated to. That's what it is. But I don't know. I'm just kind of at that point where, like, I think you could take a break for a while and then come back. That Mortal Kombat 1 should have been that point where they took that big break and did something different. But that's just me.
Like, I know what you're saying. The problem is it's hard to say. This is like divulging into like a different subject, but like. With NetherRealm, it's just all their mandates basically come from WB.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Their hands are tied there. Like, as much as they want to make something else, they really can't unless it's like the mobile spin-off game that came out recently, Onslaught, I think it was called. People kind of like it, but it's a gacha game, a gacha RPG. So it's take what you can.
Yeah, that's pretty much Mortal Kombat right now. It's a gacha game. but yeah, I mean. It's interesting to see that. I just hope we see less of that, but though on Switch 2, a lot of that weird, okay, this is a trailer for another console on the Switch thing and blah, blah.
I think they'll be more straight to the point. Like, they won't be worrying about stuff like that. Yeah. Especially since, like I said, Shiver, they're not as up there as regarded as, like, ports like Saber Interactive or Panic Button. Mm-hmm. Those guys did, like, good works. Like, Saber did The Witcher 3. And Panic Button did both Doom Eternal and Doom, or Doom 2016. So
I mean, any game they got on there ported over is wild to think about. I'm also curious to see how much people jump to Switch, like how much they do the multi-port thing for them. Because a lot of the reasons people avoided them because the hardware wasn't able to support this game, and it's going to cost way too much to port it over or to hire someone to do it. So I'm curious how many people are really going to flock to it, or if they're going to just stay with the other three.
The thing is, like, I don't think they got a choice anymore. Like, I'm not even saying that in a bad way, but you got the other three who, even then, like, you say, like, the Switch 2 can't probably handle it, this, that, or the other, but even now, even some 30-card games can't even hit the max potential on any of these machines right now.
I mean, yeah, but shit, if you're talking...
Even first-party games can do it.
If you can't do it with the maxed-out machine, you're definitely not going to do it with the minimally maxed machine. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me, at least. But... I mean, graphically, every game's going to struggle to some degree because the coding is different. Everything is just different for every console. But, I mean, for the most part, most games usually do their thing. The only ones that have been really screwing up have been super AAA games that fucking just want to show you a new fucking realm of reality or some shit. So, I mean, and eventually they kind of get it right eventually, but
And I think this is where Nintendo's going to sneak in and probably steal the win from this upcoming
that'd be some shit
generation, if only because, like, think about this, the big two have been focusing on pushing out games that are like, groundbreaking, great graphics and all that shit, but those games take way too long to make, way too much money to invest in, and sometimes, and we've learned from, like, leaks like Insomniac and shit, that shit doesn't even make profit anymore.
Oh yeah,
you got Nintendo that's been pumping out, like, smaller games, and yeah, they're either great or they're not. You got hit and misses, that's just like with everything, but the flow of consistency of software now compared to their Wii U days is staggering. It's like times 100. So it's like, come next gen, they got this thing that can be on par with the other two big boys. Now on top of getting third-party support from everybody else, oh shit! And again, keeping their first-party stream going flow like they did this whole Switch generation. Yeah, I don't think people are going to see this coming.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with them, though, too, is, like, Nintendo's always been, like, super strict with like who they interact with and how they interact and how they manage their games, because they do it really well. While everyone else on the other side is dealing with Bethesda / Activision shenanigans, freaking CD Projekt Red CEOs pushing down their throat to rush this game out and all that crap. So it's going to be very interesting to watch Nintendo deal with those same issues too, from those people, because it's going to be like, okay, you want to bring a game to our console, cool, but we also don't want you to make us look bad because you decided to rush your game out. And it's kind of like, I wonder how high that hurdle is going to be for those game companies.
That's not sure. Who knows to say there? Like, I'm a lost forward to that, because at that point that's like behind closed doors.
Yeah.
My only thing to help you relax is that, one, they got an ex-Sony executive working there who's basically the head guy of now third-party relationships now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a duo now for PlayStation too.
Oh yeah, their CEO, they're doing a dual CEO path thing.
Yeah, which is probably for the smartest one. Jim Ryan just straight retired.
Yeah, no, he bailed. He took the golden parachute and left.
Basically.
But
no. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to watch them though have to deal with those kind of issues now, because now if that Switch is graphically jumping out, which it seems like that's going to be the case here. It's going to be very interesting to watch them deal with those those AAA problems. Like, are they really going to put their foot down? Are they going to be really strict on who they deal with? And
I think they're just going to do what they did this whole Switch gen. Like, I think if you're willing to put in the effort, they'll meet you halfway and help you port the game. Now that they got somebody who's good with third-party studio relationships. They got Shiver Interactive to have an in-house porting studio. Top of that, like, a bunch of like companies are saying they want to they want to put their games on more systems to make more money back, or make their money back in general. Mm-hmm. I think they're fine. I think they're at a point where they realize, like, I think lessons learned from the Wii U essentially is that we can have our own games, but we cannot deny the third-party support is important, and that's why they made all these efforts to get as many third parties on board with the platform. Hell, we're still getting to this day like PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X games ported downwards to Switch, and these things come out a year later, but they come out a year later and they still run decent. Like, most recent one off the top of my head, fucking One Piece Odyssey, that turn-based RPG that came out last year, is coming out on Switch later this summer, I think.
Yeah, but One Piece games have been coming out on Switch for like the longest, and those games aren't that graphically demanding. But I get what your point is. I don't know. I'm waiting for that game that's just like really to show it off. Like, I feel like
that's the thing though. Like, you have this system has more games than you can think of, and I guarantee it's a financial thing for you. But like, what game are you waiting to actually try?
You know what? When you can make I've seen the trailer difference from Shin Megami Tensei 5, from the PS5 version or the PS4 to the Switch version. Totally super crazy how different those games look. It's weird. It's crazy. When I saw both the trailers, I'm just like, is my YouTube running at like 4080 right now? And that kind of thing is what I'm waiting for right now. And I'm gonna get that with Switch too, hopefully. But for right now, for Switch, it's just the difference is just too apparent right now. It's impressive. You get games like Witcher 3 running on there. It's really great, but you got to remember how scaled back those games have to be because of that.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and like I said, it's not bad. That's just the graphical requirements for the current system right now. They're not. This thing isn't a powerhouse.
Right, and I get you. Like, I especially when it comes to third-party games, I'm not gonna expect you to go buy like right now for a current Switch. I'm not gonna expect you to go play I don't know, like things like Dark Souls remastered on Switch when you can play it on PlayStation 5.
Right.
Like, I get that, but I'm talking about like first party games, like
the smaller tier stuff. Yeah.
No, like I'm talking about what big first party Nintendo game will you actually go out of your way and be like, okay, yo, this is actually some good shit.
Because that's not like a Nintendo exclusive thing, or
because you have yet to dabble into any of them and actually really commit to them. Because I'm talking about, you got like 3 Fire Emblem games. There's a third one. Okay, I know there's 2.
Yeah, of course your first party games are going to do great because they've been...
No. I'm asking you personally.
You're asking me personally what games I'm interested in for first party?
Yes, because...
Oh, well, I mean...
Because, like, I can name, like, things on the PS5 that I would want to play their first party. I can name things on the Xbox.
Oh, okay. You're asking what games I want to play. Got you.
Because, like...
Totally different message I was getting from that.
My bad.
You're good. I mean, first party games, Fire Emblem, like you said. I want to play the Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Want to try that out. I've been dying to try that for years. And honestly, that's kind of it. Zelda, of course, will be one. I've been sitting on Zelda for the longest. Both of them.
How do you feel about Xenoblade? Because
I'm gonna play Xenoblade. I'm still figuring out where I need to start. I get it 1, 2, and then 3, of course. But it's just they're really weird. They threw me off for a minute because 2 and 3 share some stuff I didn't know that they did.
So I'm doing it, and just because I've already made it, I'm committed to this. I'm going to start with 2, then go to 1, then 3. Mm-hmm. But anybody else who isn't doing what I'm doing can tell you just 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that'll more than likely be what it is, just 1, 2, and 3. But I mean, the only reason why I haven't is just because it's 2 main reasons. 1, budget.
Yes.
Stuff. We've been doing some things. Of course, this space has been coming out my pocket. Mm-hmm. And 2, Destiny. It's been Final Shape's coming out. I've been distracted. Everyone knows I'm a Sony fanboy at this point. And so I've been focused more on that. Playing Final Fantasy, of course, too. I'm getting through that oddly paced game.
How crazy would it be, actually? You brought that up. I just realized. How would you feel if they actually got Destiny 2 running on that thing?
I would fucking bust if they put Destiny.
Not just that. I'll even throw in a sweet, like an extra cherry on top. They do cross save, cross progression.
Yeah, they do that. That would actually have to be required because the effort it would take for me to put it on Switch it's free to play, which is cool. But it's like I can only do so much. I'd still play it, still try it if it's on Switch or Switch 2. That'd probably be the only thing I'd play on there. And then I would really love if cross save was on there because when you buy DLC, I've had to buy that DLC multiple times on every platform. I've done it. I did it. I'm pretty much there. I think with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 expansions across PC and Xbox. But that would be awesome. That'd be great. Like that'd be okay. You got me at that point. Like I can't even complain about this console at this point.
You can finally play Destiny 2 while editing at the same time.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't get anything done because of that. But yeah, Destiny 2 would be a really great move forward. It'd be not great just for me, but for Bungie as well because they really need the win right now.
Imagine opening a door to a whole bunch of people who've been starving for like an online looter shooter. Mm-hmm. You get this install base of like probably day one, like 10 million.
Yeah.
10 million new players in that fucking game.
And you know what shocked me too? Because Borderlands 3 isn't on
Switch, it is, right? But it's a very restricted version.
Yeah,
so 1, 2, and pre-sequel run perfect. They're good. No problems there.
I'm talking about 3 though.
No, that's what I'm saying. 3, its only downside is you can only do 2-player co-op.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not the worst thing ever. I mean, for it being on Switch right now, that's not bad. For me, I would have thought the big thing for Switch would have been, or the big, fire under their butt would have been PS Vita had Borderlands 2 on there.
Oh yeah, no.
That was fucking impressive. Like that was the moment I want to see on Switch 2 when I'm playing something AAA. Like that's what I want. Because when I first played Borderlands 2 on what's it called? Don't get me wrong, it was limited. It had its issues here and there, and it chugs a little bit, but it worked. It worked. It fucking worked. It was crazy. It was bananas. And this was at a time before Xbox Series X and PS5 and PS4 was still super new and everything, and the Vita was actually still alive. But at this point, that was the big wow moment for that console, in my opinion. That's when we were like, okay, they can really do some stuff with this. Another big problem with the Vita is, sorry, I throw some PlayStation stuff in there, but no Infamous at all on PS Vita, which is a biggest waste ever.
Lack of support in general.
Yeah, but I doubt Switch will have that issue. I mean, people love Switch, Nintendo Switch like crazy, and it's gonna be it's gonna be very interesting to see who flocks to this console, because I mean, more consoles means more.
Square Enix be looking at like that one meme of the guy behind a tree licking his lips with his hands rubbing like that.
Oh yeah.
From rumors on top of everything I just said, on top of like Final Fantasy VII remake dropping on it, all this other stuff dropping on it. Now we got reports saying that not day one. I don't want to overhype it, but Square Enix is thinking about dropping the entire Kingdom Hearts collection on that thing.
I mean, they should.
Physically, let me rephrase that. Physically and actual digitally, because in the original Switch, they were all cloud versions of these games.
Yeah.
On top of that, they're saying 4. 4 is going to launch day and date with that thing, too.
But by the time that should happen, I can see that being realistic, because by the time 4 even comes out, I mean, shoot. Well, it should be out by that point. The Switch 2 will be out, announced and everything, and it shouldn't really be a problem. But for that, I don't know. It'd be a shock. It'd be great. I'm just curious. Like I said, it's just gonna be interesting to watch. Square Enix definitely needs to jump on that. Bungie would be smart to jump on that. Anyone who basically needs more sales should be on that.
Just get that floodgate going, get that money coming in to get more shit out.
Yeah. So I mean, it's very interesting. Can't wait to see what Switch 2 does. Can't wait for that announcement. That's going to be a very interesting day for everyone here.
Swear to God,
Hopefully,
it's gonna be like at 3 or 6 a.m. We're on me like, what? Oh shit! Get hyped and go back to bed.
literally, and then fucking we'll make a video the day. Hopefully, it comes out. We'll be on our shit at that point. But yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think Switch 2 is going to be doing? Are you excited about it? Are you not? Let us know down below. Don't forget to like, comment as usual, and subscribe. That'd be awesome. And until next time.
Peace.